From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
And a death of a firefighter really trickles throughout the community, not just on this fire, but throughout the country and the world.
I'm Megan Elaine near Sheridan, Montana. Coming up, I'll take you to the incident base for the Cloud Rest in Billings fire, where firefighters are mourning the loss of one of their own.
Until the fire crews could get here, we were able to do what we could.
A family's perseverance, how a Wyoming ranch stood against the massive Red Canyon fire.
The student athletes deserve better, and frankly, the visitors deserve better.
And more expensive than expected, how changes to a historic Billings football stadium are adding up. Those stories and much more coming up in the next hour. Good morning and welcome back to Montana This Morning on this Tuesday, August 26th. I'm Hailey Monaco here with Miller Robson. Good morning, Miller.
And good morning, Hailey, and happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
Coming off a really nice day yesterday, pretty seasonal with those temperatures. Excuse me, very dry day. In fact, we called a high yesterday of 85, and that's exactly where we hit. So just a bit above the norm. Our low of 54 on target for this time of August. Top gust yesterday of 24 miles an hour. Still going to be somewhat breezy at times over the next couple of days. Was a dry day yesterday. We're in the hole a bit for the month. For the year, we're still pacing ahead. Now that number for the month, we have a chance to wipe that puppy out by the end of this week, as we may have a good bit of moisture heading our way. You can see we do have that southwest flow already bringing some rain. Southwest Montana, northwestern portions of Wyoming, our western mountains, the Beartooths, the Absarokas, and the foothills, a chance of showers and thunderstorms today, even more so in your area tomorrow. And then by tomorrow evening, we start to see it try to spread across the rest of the area, including here in Billings. Temperatures this morning, we've got 54 in Livingston, 48 in Harlingen. How about 48 in Jordan? Up in Williston, North Dakota. A couple folks watching up there. We're at 48, 50 in Miles City as well as Broadus, 52 in Hardin. Down in Sheridan, we're at 46, 59 right now in Cody. Here in Billings, a beautiful start. More clouds coming in today, though. 58 right now at the airport. Humidity at 47%. Dew points at 38. Winds are calm. Day planner today. High trying to get up to 86. We'll be in the mid 70s by lunchtime with some clouds. Some clouds by the drive at 5, but staying dry. You can see some areas even trying to get up to the low 90s today, like Hardin. But here comes that moisture heading our way. How will it affect the area? I'll tell you about that with the main forecast coming up.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Miller. Okay. And we begin with breaking news. Billings police are investigating a report of shots fired in West Billings, reported to them just before 4 a.m. And police are now saying a 20-year-old man is in custody. Officers say Anthony Malloy of Billings is being charged in relation to this case. Details are very limited right now. In an earlier Facebook post, police say officers responded to a report of a disturbance with shots fired near 19th and Alderson at 3:55 this morning. All parties have been located and there is no threat to the public. It is not yet clear if anyone was hurt or how many people were involved in this incident. We will keep you updated as we learn more. In continuing coverage on a story we first brought you yesterday on Montana This Morning, the firefighter who died Sunday on the Bivens Creek fire northwest of Virginia City has now been identified as 56-year-old Ruben Gonzalez Romero of Kaiser, Oregon. Romero was a Wildland firefighter with more than 20 years of experience. MTN's Megan Elaine is in Twin Bridges, where crews are honoring his service.
The firefighting community is mourning today following the death of a firefighter in the Bivens Creek fire in the Tobacco Roots.
There was a medical emergency out on the line.
Sunday afternoon, incident commanders received word of what they call an incident within an incident. Amy Highfield with the incident management team says that's when they learned a firefighter had suffered a cardiac emergency.
Many of us gathered together with the communications and the medical folk and found out that there was, in fact, a cardiac emergency that unfortunately resulted in the passing of one of the firefighters that was out on the line.
Officials have identified the fallen firefighter as 56-year-old Ruben Romero of Kaiser, Oregon, a veteran with more than 20 years of experience on the fire line. Tents line the Madison County Fairgrounds, now home to hundreds of firefighters working the Bivens Creek and Cloud Rest fires.
It hits all of us pretty hard. The firefighting community is pretty small. We're all kind of one family, and a death of a firefighter really trickles throughout the community, not just on this fire, but throughout the country and the world.
Monday, hundreds of purple and black ribbons were handed out, colors that honor fallen firefighters like Romero.
Moment of silence for him this morning, and we'll continue with celebrating, honoring, remembering him, and trying to do what we can to help support crews.
But amid the grief, the mission continues.
Because there is still a fire to fight.
Nearly 800 personnel spent the day digging lines, clearing hot spots, and working to protect communities. Amy says for other fellow firefighters, honoring Romero means carrying on his work.
Being able to go out there and continue that work, I know many of us feel like if I was to fall, that's what I would want my friends, my comrades, my colleagues to do, is to get out there and get after it.
As the Bivens Creek and Cloud Rest fires burned thousands of acres, firefighters say community support has helped carry them through.
Incredible feeling of hospitality and that we've had in these communities.
For fire updates and evacuation information, visit our website. In Twin Bridges, Megan Elaine, MTN News.
Thanks, Megan. Meanwhile, fire departments and agencies across the state and beyond are sending their own messages of support after the loss of firefighter Romero. Romero was working with TJ Contracting, LLC. In part of a statement, TJ Contracting said, quote, Romero was a dedicated firefighter whom loved his job and enjoyed running his saw on the line. He brought joy, laughter, and wisdom to every crew he worked on. Ruben, you will be dearly missed. Thank you for your dedication and hard work. Agencies closer to Billings are also responding. In part of a statement, Custer County fire crews said, quote, we send our condolences and prayers to his family, agency, friends, and the responders on the scene. Rest in peace, brother. And crews are making progress on a huge wildfire in Wyoming. The Red Canyon fire is now 75% contained after burning almost 125,000 acres. But for one couple, the fight to save their property came down to their own hands. Our Hannah Pettiferi has their first-hand account on how they beat back the flames.
Makes a roar.
That's how Jennifer Axtell described the sound of the Red Canyon fire.
A wind and a crackling and a rolling all at once.
The fire started near Thermopolis, Wyoming on August 13th.
We saw a lightning strike back behind the hill, and that's a concern this time of the year.
It got out of control fast. I think it was wind and the conditions, and it's a hard thing to stop.
Jennifer and Chip jumped into action to save their land.
Until the fire crews could get here, we were able to do what we could.
Their neighbors also helping the fight.
We had 2 tractors, about 3 vehicles full of people. I had my water tank in the back of my truck.
Chip and others cutting their own lines to prevent the fire from jumping.
And the next day, we just went to a different place where the fire was threatening, and we cut fire lines around where it was coming to. And
the wind playing a pivotal role in the direction of where the fire was going.
We were successful in stopping that from coming any further this direction, and it was definitely with help from the wind.
Incident Commander Jay Mickey says they now have lines around the fire.
We got about 125,000 acres of fire.
And they've moved into repair mode.
Those are lines in areas of the fire where it's cooled off, and we feel like we can repair it as close to back to normal as it was before the fire started.
This area is covered in family ranches, and every acre of land is important.
This fire affected a lot of the ranchers, and obviously grass is very important to them for their cattle operations and things like that.
We spent this last Thursday and Saturday processing our calves and running them through the corral and making sure they were okay.
Jennifer and Chip say they are grateful for all of the help.
We're extremely lucky. There are people that lost so much more than we lost. And
everyone just pulled together, you know, and worked really hard and had a common goal.
In Thermopolis, Hannah Pettiferi, MTN News.
Hannah, thank you. In an update this morning, investigators say the body of a man found floating in the Yellowstone River Monday afternoon appears to be a victim of an accidental drowning. The sheriff's office says a helicopter pilot spotted the body floating near a sandbar near the Duck Creek Bridge around 4 o'clock yesterday while returning from a search and rescue in Stillwater County. Yellowstone County Sheriff Mike Linder says the victim was wading in the water when they were pulled in by the current. The name of the victim has not been released at this time. Law enforcement continues to investigate after an SUV and Yellowstone County patrol vehicle collided in Billings. It's a situation we first brought you over the weekend. According to Sheriff Linder, deputies were responding to a medical emergency call and were traveling on South 27th Street on Sunday when the SUV pulled out from 10th Avenue South. Sheriff Linder says the deputy had the right of way and couldn't stop and collided with the SUV. The violent crash rolled the SUV and trapped the elderly female driver inside her overturned vehicle. Firefighters had to cut the SUV to rescue the driver, who was taken by ambulance to the hospital, while the deputy did not suffer any serious injuries. Sheriff Linder says Billings police are conducting the crash investigation, and he did not have any information about the driver taken to the hospital. In continuing coverage, after getting close to the goal line, a setback in the drive to raise the money needed for an overhaul of Billings' historic Dallas Stadium. Turns out repairs are going to cost even more than originally thought. More than $2 million more. This morning, David J. is looking at the reason for the increase and what the school board plans to do about it.
Well, another high school football season is almost upon us. Push to build the new stadium is still a ways from the goal line.
What we're trying to really achieve is minimize the cost for the taxpayer.
Price tag for a new Dallas stadium is now $14.9 million, up $2.4 million due to problems with the playing field. You may not be able to tell from the grandstands or here near the end zone, but the field slopes. There's a difference of 21 inches from one side of the field to the other, and that's going to be quite the expense to fix.
Now's the time to fix it. Now is the time while we're in a large construction project.
Of course, you don't want to invest $12.5 million in a stadium that is not fully level.
Dr. Garcia says the extra $2.4 million will take care of the slope, arguing it doesn't make sense to invest in a new grandstand, new locker rooms, and other improvements if the field isn't also fixed. He believes that money can be secured through fundraising.
We still have an obligation to provide adequate facilities and instruction. So for that, we're trying to think outside of the box. Fundraising, about 70% of the total costs have been already being secured.
Trustee Zach Tarakitis was the only no vote.
It's frustrating and hard for me, knowing that I'm the one questioning a lot of the progress that we're making here. There's been no regressive approach to this football stadium until we just were approached with another increase in cost. At no point has this been held back. If anything, we've made a larger commitment.
Tarakitis was concerned with potentially increasing the district's $6.25 million commitment on what was a $12.5 million project to what will now cost $14.9 million.
To Zach's point, I mean, I'm okay with authorizing that, but I am a little concerned that we're not being very clear who's on the hook for what.
The district had hoped to raise half of the $12.5 million through fundraising. Now the district will be looking to raise roughly $8 million of the $14.9 million through fundraising.
It is possible in Billings, Montana, for an inspired project to raise the roughly $8 million that would be required.
And Rose still anticipates the new Dallas, or what is expected to be called Heenan and Cook Stadium, to be open next year.
If all goes according to schedule, we should be celebrating a grand opening next fall, 2026.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Thanks, David. In Helena, almost 4 months after the end of the 2025 Montana legislative session, and one bill that passed the legislature still has not been signed by the governor. Republican leaders say they are delaying that bill on purpose to keep it from being held up in court. House Speaker Brandon Lear's office released a statement Monday about Senate Bill 437. It seeks to define sex in state law as being male or female and fixed at birth. They said Lear had chosen not to sign off on the bill, a final procedural step before it can go to the governor's desk. A similar bill passed in 2023 has been blocked by a state district judge. Lear said SB 437 will ultimately be signed into law. but delaying it would prevent, quote, activist judges from getting an easy path to lump these cases together.